Hello, welcome back to the Proactive Investors New York studio. I'm Christine Corrado. With me in studio today is Mark Emelfarb and Ping Rawson, both from Dyadic. Great to have you both in today.
It's great to be here, Christine. Nice to see you again.
Same here.
Nice to see you. This is part 2 of our chat with Dyadic ahead of ringing the Nasdaq closing bell. So congratulations on that. Mark, you've been with the company for quite a long time. You founded the company. How excited are you to be at this point?
No, I mean, we're very excited. We think we're at the apex of a 40-year journey. I mean, I think we already fed and fueled the world. Now we're in the final frontiers to heal it. And I think that we're delivering on our promise, and the technology is being advanced. And we're excited to ring the bell, but we're more excited to bring low-cost healthcare to people.
Did you expect to be at this point 40 years ago?
No, I had no idea where I was going to be 40 years ago. I was just selling rocks to stonewashed blue jeans, and this led to that led to this, that ultimately led to our success.
And Ping, you're the Chief Accounting Officer. I mean, from a financial perspective, how do you think this uplisting will change operations going forward, if at all?
Yeah, I think definitely as a Nasdaq listed company, we have more compliance, issues and which incur additional cost down the road. But I think overall that will add a lot of visibility to the market and give us access to an entirely different investor pool. So from operational perspective, I don't see significant change, but definitely there will be more visibility and transparency to the market. Given that, we were already, OTC market for a long time, we already set up all our process and procedures according to a very high standard. So uplisting to Nasdaq is definitely a change for the better.
But let's talk more about that. The company was listed on the OTC and the stock price had been hovering around $1.60. It's now at just under $6 per share. Do you see the stock is now fairly valued?
Well, fair value is always a very challenging question for startup companies, especially biopharmaceutical companies, given that there's no positive cash flow at this point. So it's not just for us, but I think the market starts to take notice of Dyadic, because for a very short period that we listed on Nasdaq, our stock price definitely reflect the value of the company. And as our science continue moving forward and advancing, I think there will be more value added to our stock. And I definitely see positive, feedback from the market and also the market. I think the investors, with more institutional investors get involved and analysts, following us to write a story about Dyadic with our, advanced investor pool. I think our stock will have better performance in the future.
And Mark, go ahead.
Well, I think I can add something to that.
Sure.
I believe that we were so far off the radar screen, but a lot of that was intentional. We were transitioning from an industrial biotech company to a pharma company. And I think we've talked about this before. We had a theory. Our theory was we can make a lot of protein very cost effectively at massive scale. Pharma makes things very inefficiently at very high cost, at very small scale. And so we wanted to test the theory, and now we put that theory to practice, and now we're achieving tremendous results in terms of productivity. And as Ronan talked about earlier, the glycoengineering is moving in the right direction. Virtually almost every gene that we've sort of been given as a challenge, we've overcome difficulties in some cases. In some cases, they're very simple, but in the end, we got results. And for example, I think the shareholder value is just at the beginning. I think we're just getting moving. I think people are just finding out we exist, number one. And number two, we've had tremendous success in creating data, and that led to business deals, which we have a deal with Sanofi, Mitsubishi Tanabe Pharma. I think Ronan talked about we hit the expression levels there, and they're now evaluating the quality. We just signed a deal, as you know, recently with the Serum Institute in India, and that's one of the largest vaccine companies on the planet. And so if we can get them involved further, more comfortable as we get into this project together, and there's up to 12 proteins there. If we can express just 1 or 2 of those, let alone 10 or 12 of those, it's going to be a game changer. So I think the value really is, just getting recognized. We're just getting moving. I wouldn't say that going from the $1.80 to $2 to $4 to $6 is the end of the game. I think it's the beginning of the road.
Well, speaking of recognition, as you've hit these milestones, what has investor feedback been like so far?
Well, investor feedback's great. I mean, obviously, they see share appreciation, but I think more important, they see science advancing, they see business development deals maturing, they see new business development deals coming in. I think we announced that Q4 last year, we did a deal with top 20 pharma. In first quarter, 2 top 25 pharmas. Unfortunately, we can't use their name at the moment, but as they mature, and if they turn into bigger deals, we'll be able to do that. And I think, as Matt pointed out, we have a variety of conversations going on with all kinds of pharmaceutical and biotech companies, governmental agencies. The ZAPI program, we hit 17 times the level of productivity that the target was. So I think, the investors are happy, but more important to us is we're advancing science and technology to really bring benefits to humankind, to lower cost of drugs, to save lives and reduce pain and suffering globally.
Well, definitely ringing the closing bell is a pivotal milestone for the company. I mean, where do you see the company headed in 2-3 years?
Well, I think in the end, it's just maturing. I mean, as we get some of these deals advancing to stage 2, stage 3, potentially get license deals where we get upfront access fees, cash milestones, and royalties in the long term, as we did in the industrial side, which, we between the license deals and the sale to DuPont, it was over $110 million.
Right.
So we think exponentially in the pharmaceutical area that we're going to get far greater rewards to our shareholders. But again, in the end, if we create value and we bring affordable healthcare to people, shareholder value will go exponentially with it.
Well, Mark Peng, it was great to have you. Have a great time today at the closing bell.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.